My name's Eric O'Neill. I'm the Director of Graduate Studies and the Director of Education for the Department of Oncology, and I look after students' educational needs and welfare. I think we're all fascinated and supported by the advances that are being made in artificial intelligence tools, in our research and education delivery and the formulation of all sorts of content. I think right now we have a body of students that are going into their dissertations, and it became pertinent to us that their master's work is going to be written up and they're going to need to defend that. When we looked for policies, the universities are trying to get to grips with how we can make definitive statements about what artificial intelligence tools can be used, should be used, or how they should be used. But there's no clear evidence and there's no clear rules, and it's not saying it's right or wrong, but we wanted to put some guidance in regards to why we think and our view on what is appropriate and inappropriate use of it for the students' benefit rather than having strict rules. What we started to consider is that the use is appropriate for the points where you're using it to research background information, having a look at rough concepts, brainstorming, looking at the formulation of your work, looking at language or structure overall. But where we think inappropriate use starts to come in is where we start to replace our own ability to be able to write with that of the machine, in that where we actually replace whole bodies of text that are machine driven and not from the individual. Now, that text is original because it's not been existed before, so it's original work, but it's not original thought by the student, it's original thought by the computer. So this is what we have to kind of battle with and try and explain, is that working with AI, allowing it to support you in the generating of those concepts, really then has to be brought over to you to develop your critical thinking. And the main reason for bringing this out now, I think, is because we see an impending problem. Is critical thinking is, especially at the postgraduate level, is what we try to train is critical thinking. Critical thinking is like a muscle. Research and looking at these things, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. The more you discuss with other people, the stronger. That's why we go to conferences and why we have seminars and discuss our work with colleagues. If we lose that ability to be able to critically think, it's a gradual creep to being reliant on machines to be able to deliver it, and an inability, and more so than that, for students, it runs into a capability. Now, a lot of our research degrees and master's programs involve formal assessments that form part of their mark, Vivas, for example, where they are one-to-one, have to demonstrate the mastery of their subject. And the Doctor of Philosophy, it's inherent in the name, it's a philosophy of that subject. So you're going to be asked to discuss with an assessor or an examiner about your subject. And any lack of ability to critically think or assess or come with complex thought processes is going to be exposed. If you've not had the experience to do it, you're going to arrive in those situations where you are not capable and don't have the skills, or you do have the skills but you don't have the exercise, you don't have the confidence to be able to articulate your own ideas without the help of artificial intelligence. And I guess the final thing is the validity of the source material. We know that there's inherent mistakes at the moment in AI. There's hallucination, there's false and creation of false references, and misinterpretation of references. So if you rely on that too superficially, then you're going to expose yourself to being, your own scientific value is going to be harmed by the fact that you haven't gone in and done due diligence of looking, were these facts actually true? The reason we're doing this is to provide support for students that are concerned about how much can they use or where do they fall down. We selected every student through a rigorous interview process, and they have a fantastic opportunity in Oxford to learn from people. And if we are remiss in being able to raise this as an issue, is that then we're failing those students to be able to develop the critical skills that we know that they can have.